welcome back. This is the other two journals that I have, and they're kind of not similar, but they are both Prairie Journals. So I did a video. I'm going to show you this one. I did a video on this because I made this cover. I haven't finished the cover. I don't know if I'm going to ever add anything, but I did hand sew this stuff on here, and so I did this as well. And but it's a 3 signature, and I'm going to add some more thread to this, but this is very thick industrial stuff thread that I added. But it was a smaller journal. I have made it so it's not bunched up. She heavily embellished, and I loved that she did that. I wanted it to be heavily embellished, but the cover was just making it kind of squish when I was tying it, and so I was like, oh, my pages are going to get ruined. So I kept that journal cover to make another journal. And but I made this, and I've used, it's kind of soft, so it's bendable. There's like something for quilting in here. It's not batting, but it's something that if you were to wash it, doesn't fall apart. I don't know what it's called. I have no idea. But anyways, I wanted to show you this. This is my favorite journal of all the journals that I have, and this was a special order as well. And she made this from the Little House on the Prairie and book. And there's me journaling a little bit about this journal. And let me see what's in here. Yeah, I got stuff on there. So I love this journal, and I've started to write in this one. And as you notice, if you notice, I have different handwriting for each one of my journals. You know, cursive writing, and I don't have the best penmanship, but I try to do my best, especially with this one. But there's tons of little interactive things throughout this book. I mean, this lady did an awesome job, and so I've added a lot of things too. And like I said, I went throughout the book and I've added things that, like, I didn't go in order. And actually, about this journal, what I did was some of the things. See, she made this. This is awesome. I'll see if I can find one of the pages, but before I get to it, I'll just show you some things that I've got. But I got this off the internet. I added this. It's an actual receipt from 1899. It's like a sewer fund. I don't know. It's Montana. I don't know what that meant, but labor at $2.50. Whew, that's pitiful. Not very much money there. One thing I wanted to have you notice on these checks, oh, it's up here, that this here, the amount when they wrote it was up here versus down here beside where you write. So could you imagine $2.50? That's not very much money. You can imagine what what minimum wage or whatever the wage was. I don't think there was minimum wage then. But this is cool. She made this little interactive thing, and it's got a little journaling card in there, and then she's got a little stuff back there. I put this in here. Oh, there's a little pocket. I've added all kinds of things. I got this playing card I added, and I made this thing. It's just some scraps that I made like in a banner, and so you guys can talk. I just can't have like a video or a TV on or anything like that. I'm talking to my family. If you guys are wondering, they're wondering if they can talk or not, but I just can't have like music or TV because of copyright. But this is so cool. So, you know, I'm a Christian lady, and this is from, I don't know where I got this. Oh, Midland City, Alabama. I'm not a Baptist, but I thought this was the cutest little thing. You are loved, and for God so loved the world, you that gave his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, that if you believe. So it goes on, and the way it's written, I just love it. So then it gives you some other scriptures. Confess Jesus Christ with your mouth and be baptized, and I just thought it was cute. So, and I had to add that in there because people who were prairie pioneers, they were very much, I'm not going to say all of them, but majority of them were faith-based people. They believed in Christ, and you know, they took a risk coming to America or going out west, or you know, to live in those prairies. It was very difficult. Here's a video, not a video, a photograph. This is, I think, maybe sandstone, but maybe not. It might be rock. but they've rode over it so much that they wore down the rocks. It says, although they were uncertain of the future, they were certain of their faith. And this is pioneer, what it meant, what the word, let me see what it says here. It's a noun, a person giving Jehovah his or her best every day, defending the truth without being a lawyer, teaching without being a professor, saving lives without being a doctor. And then this is custard pie, pie crust, some recipes that I've added. So let me show you some other things. Oh, this is an actual postcard that I've added, and it's weird. You see that glistening? The way they made these pictures, I don't know how they made them, but it's the ink is much different than what we have today. It's almost like a negative when you hit the light a certain way. It's kind of cool. But it's a postcard. I don't know how old it is. Probably late 1800s. And this is another picture of another thing right here where they went through their wagons, and they've worn it down so much, and it's still there today. And this is one of my favorite things. I've added this to this page. This is from a can't think of it, Ideals magazine, The Pioneer Mother. I've had this little heart, and I cut it down, and I added this vintage trim here, like embroidery trim. And I got this at the Dollar Tree, ladies. I thought it was the cutest little flower, so I added the button, of course, because there's an ugly little plastic thing in there. But American flag, you know, what more? They were coming to America, and so I've got that. I've got these. I picked these up too. These are actual, and I paid $1 for these at an antique shop. Actual photos. They're not the Ingalls, but that's that time frame. And here's another. Got this off the internet, and I decoupaged it, so it's kind of funky looking. But the actual where they went with their wagons is still there to this day. A lot of places have indentations where the grass doesn't grow because they wore it down so much that it's still there permanently. It's really cool. And there is in here, let me see, where is it? Throughout this book I've added some things that pertain to the book, like the well. Let me see if I can find that. Well, did I add anything? Did I write on anything on the bag? Yes. Okay. So this is when he was working on the well. This is Pa and this is Ma, and somebody was helping him like that lived nearby. And so I kind of wrote some things on here, and I'll read it. But one of the things says, having water, especially running hot water, this is a huge blessing that many take for granted, especially today. And I'll tell you a little story, too, about what we had to deal with. I couldn't imagine digging my own well by hand. It's truly amazing all that Pa or Charles Ingalls did to make a home for his family. When I think of my husband Braxton, I can truly say he is amazing like Pa Ingalls was. Men who have faith in Jesus and a relationship with him can and will do everything for their families. That's called love. So that was in there. And so I've added things. This is an actual piece of artwork, and I made it into a tuck, and I inked it around. But actually, I got this lady actually drew this. I've got several pieces of artwork. It's an actual piece of artwork that was hand-drawn. I wish I was that good. I'm not that good. And I did show you guys some artwork that I had that I took pictures of. And I actually have the artwork hanging in my house, my own. But that lady is amazing. She has to have done it for years. And that's just pencil. So this is another thing. So throughout the book, like I said, I just kind of go throughout, and I've added some Christmas stuff too. I found this in a book, and I thought it was cool because it was all vintage, you know, handkerchiefs and cloths and tablecloths and whatever. And, you know, back in the day, they had to make their own material a lot of times, and from scratch with a wheel. and then a loom to make the fabric from the actual thread that they made, or yarn, depending on what it was, if it was cotton or if they made it with wool, two different types. But so I wrote, Ma Ingalls had to sew all their clothes, and even made the thread as well as dye the thread when she was living in the prairies. But now when Pa would go to the town or whatever, he'd make that, you know, she would get some fabric. But she did make her all the clothes, and I know she made some of her own thread and fabric at some time, at some point in her life. It says, women were just as important as the men back in 1800s, maybe more so, because of all they did. I said, it truly takes a very long time to make thread, then turn them into fabric, then it needs to be cut into patterns, then sewn by hand into garments for your family. That is truly amazing. What an amazing woman. And I wrote this in 2021. What is this year? I'm all mixed up. Are we in 2022? Oh my Lord, I'm so mixed up. Ladies, if I told you so, I'm mixed up. Okay. I got this journal in 2019, but I wrote this in 2021, not too long ago. We take for granted shirts, pants, dresses, etc. today. It's truly sad how we have forgotten to appreciate this blessing because of mass-made clothes today. So this is kind of what I do with my journals, you know. I don't go, I added this, and I added some scriptures, some stickers. I don't go and just from front to back, you know. If I like something, I added this fabric. This is terrible writing. I was trying to use a ink quill pen, and it was terrible. And I wrote on here, this fountain pen I'm using is terrible. I put like a sad face because it was just running. It was not working right. It was so awful. But I put these little stickers, and because Christmas time, I always think of gingerbread. That's why I put that in there. So, all right. This is this journal, and this is my favorite one of all. And but recently I had a lady make this, and this is another one, but this is a different one, and this is more messy style. Some of this is coming off. Her sewing, I would say, is not the greatest. She doesn't back stitch at all, so, and that really right there is not, that indicates the tension is not right. But I didn't say anything to her. I just figured I would, you know, not do that. But I've had to add, like this is coming apart here because of the fact that the back stitching, there was no back stitching. And when you don't do that, so she just kind of left that. If she had back stitch, it wouldn't be coming apart. But this is another Prairie. This is a special order that she made for me as well. And I haven't written in this. This is embellished as well, but more of like a grungy kind of, you know, just a grungy style mixture of things. But I like it too, and I will fill it up at some point. And I like how she mixes things. Oh, this is kind of cool. I said, oh, that's a neat little idea. Little bag with some stuff in there. And this is one thing that I would say that I didn't like about the journal the most, if I was going to say, is that she sewed it down with a sewing machine, and I would prefer to have, you know, so I might do that. I might do a hole punch and then, or put some fabric there and glue it and then do a hole punch, 3 pamphlet hole punch to kind of hold it, because I'm afraid sometimes it might come apart. I don't want it to come apart. And because I don't do that with my journals. I feel the sewing machine doesn't really hold it well. So this this is the journal. She's just added things throughout. There was some extra pieces on the bottom, and that's her style. But and this is cute. She hid this little. It was just kind of folded like that, and she showed that in her video. She's got a video of this. So there's just some extra little things. She printed out some things, parchment paper for me, of prairie pictures. This lady does not normally do this, so this was something that was a challenge for her. And there's another pocket. Actually, this pocket came completely off, and I had to glue it down. And I'll glue that too. But this is another prairie style, different. And so these are my journals, ladies. I do have a couple more, but I'm not going to show all them to you. So I've got a chicken pot pie in the oven that I need to get to and check. So I'm going to let you guys go. I hope that you've enjoyed watching and looking through some of my journals and me explaining some things, why I've got some things in there and so forth. But just want to let you guys know that I do journal, and I started journaling before I made them. So I hope that you've enjoyed these journals as much as I do. And if you do, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment if you like. Always subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate that. And remember, always have a blessed day, everyone. I love y'all. Bye.